poverty wages, no safety regulations. The average person looks at families like the Rothschilds and sees the face of everything wrong with the system. The bankers are financing the governments and the industries that are grinding workers into dust. The resentment is building, and it's about to explode. By the late 1840s, France is a powder keg. The government is deep in debt from losing wars. The economy is on the edge. The French people are angry at the government and angry at the financiers who keep the government afloat. They're looking for someone to blame, and wealthy Jewish bankers make an easy target. Within days, revolution breaks out. The French banking system nearly collapses, and the Rothschild Bank in France is right in the crosshairs. James is watching his life's work, his family's legacy, everything his father built, teeter on the edge of complete destruction. Angry mobs could storm the bank. The government could seize assets. Everything could disappear overnight. James needs help, fast. He turns to his nephew in London, Lionel, Nathan's son, the next generation of Rothschilds, and this is the moment where family unity either saves them or they learn that lesson was just pretty words. Lionel looks at the situation. Bailing out the Paris bank is risky, really risky. If France collapses completely, the London bank could lose massive amounts of money. It would be safer to cut losses and let Paris handle its own problems. That's what any rational banker would do. But Lionel remembers his grandfather's words. Family unity above all else. The Rothschild banks don't compete. They don't abandon each other. They work together or they fail together. That's the deal. That's the foundation everything is built on. Lionel arranges a loan. A big one. Enough to stabilize the Paris bank and keep it from going under. It's his money, his bank's reserves, his risk. But he does it anyway, because that's what family means. That's what being a Rothschild means. The Paris bank survives. The revolution eventually calms down. The Rothschild name takes a hit, but they're still standing, still operating, still powerful. The family bond held when it mattered most. Lionel doesn't stop at just saving his uncle's bank. He's got bigger plans. Way bigger. He starts thinking about something that seems impossible for a Jewish banker in the mid-1800s. He wants to enter government. Not as an advisor behind the scenes, not as a financier who whispers in politicians' ears. He wants an actual seat in Parliament. He wants to be in the room where decisions get made. And this is wild because no Jew has ever held a seat in the British House of Commons. Ever. The system isn't designed to let people like him in. But Lionel's logic is simple. If he wants to help eliminate prejudice against his people, the best way to do it is from inside the power structure. You can't change a system by staying outside it. You have to get in there and break it open from within. Plus, he's got money. Lots of money. And in politics, money talks louder than anything else. Lionel starts buying up newspapers and funding media campaigns. He's basically running a modern political operation, except it's 1847, and nobody's really doing this yet. He's buying influence, shaping public opinion, getting his name out there. By this point, most of the legal restrictions on British Jews have been lifted. It's not like it was when his grandfather was stuck in the Frankfurt ghetto. Things have changed. Progress has happened. The Commons even passed a bill saying a Jewish person could hold a seat. So technically, legally, Lionel can run for office. In August 1847, he mounts the hustings as a Liberal candidate for the City of London. That's a big deal. The City of London is the financial district. It's the heart of British commerce. If you're going to represent anyone, these are the people who matter for a banker. And Lionel wins. He actually wins the election. People vote for him. The Jewish banker from the Rothschild family just got elected to Parliament. Except there's a problem, a big, stupid, bureaucratic problem that's about to turn this victory into a years-long fight. To officially take his seat, Lionel has to swear an oath. Standard procedure, everyone does it. But the oath requires you to swear on the Holy Scriptures, meaning the New Testament, the Christian Bible. And Lionel looks at this requirement and basically says, yeah, no, not happening. He's Jewish. He's not swearing on Christian scripture. It violates everything he believes. He tells them he'll swear on the Old Testament, the Torah. That's his holy book. That's what matters to him. Take it or leave it. The Commons freaks out. This has never happened before. Nobody's ever challenged the oath. The whole system is built on Christian assumptions. The idea that someone might want to swear on different scripture just never occurred to anyone. What do we do? Can we even allow this? Is this legal? The debates go on for years. Literally years. But Lionel doesn't back down. He keeps showing up, keeps making his case, keeps pushing, and eventually, finally, after way too long, they cave. They change the rules. Lionel gets to swear on the Old Testament and take his seat in Parliament. This is monumental for the House of Rothschild. They're not just bankers anymore. They're not just rich. They're in government. They've got political power to go with their financial power. That's a combination that makes them nearly untouchable. As James gets older in Paris, Lionel gradually takes over as the family's patriarch. He's the one everyone looks to for decisions. He's the one coordinating between the banking houses. He's running the show, and he thinks the Rothschilds are invincible. They've survived revolutions. They've grown richer through wars. They've broken into politics. What could possibly challenge them now? What he doesn't see coming is a rival, a new banking empire rising in the background, one that's studying everything the Rothschilds do and learning from it, one that's about to make a move so bold it'll shock everyone. Meet Junius Morgan, American banker working for a British merchant banking firm called George Peabody and Company. When Peabody retires in 1864, Junius takes over the whole operation, and Junius is smart, really smart. He's got that serious, business-like presence that old financiers love. He's calm, controlled, never shows emotion. The kind of guy who makes you trust him with your money just by looking at him. Junius understands that to play with the big boys, to compete with families like the Rothschilds, he needs to get into government financing. And in the 1860s, nothing creates more financing opportunities than wars. So he starts watching Europe, waiting for the right conflict, the right opportunity, the one that everyone else will pass on because it looks too risky. And in 1867, he sees the tension building. France wants to buy Luxembourg from the Netherlands. Seems straightforward enough, but Prussia, the rising German power, says absolutely not. They oppose the move. Prussia is led by Otto von Bismarck, and Bismarck is not someone you want to mess with. Bismarck's whole thing is creating a unified German empire under Prussian leadership. He's a wild man with a brilliant mind. Picture someone who gets into drunken brawls and fencing duels to prove his manliness, but who also has the strategic genius to manipulate all of Europe into doing what he wants. He's been described as a raging bull, dangerous, unpredictable, smart enough to be terrifying. The tension keeps building. France and Prussia are headed for war. Everyone can see it coming. And on July 19th, 1870, Napoleon III makes it official. France declares war on Prussia, which is exactly what Bismarck wanted. He's been maneuvering for this. A war will let him unify the German states under Prussia's banner. It's all going according to his plan. Now here's where it gets interesting. The Rothschilds have been financing wars for like a century at this point. They're the go-to bankers for governments that need money for military campaigns. France should be an obvious client. They need loans, they need weapons, they need financing for the whole war effort. But the Rothschilds take one look at this situation and say, no, they won't lend to France, not a single franc. And the reason is simple. They've seen enough wars to know who's going to win. They can read the situation. France is walking into a meat grinder. Bismarck is smarter, Prussia is stronger, the German military is better organized. France is going to lose badly. And the Rothschilds don't finance losing sides. That's just throwing money away. Other major banking houses, like Baring Brothers, also pass. Nobody wants to touch this loan. It's too risky. France is going to get crushed and then they won't be able to pay back the money. Basic risk assessment, smart banking, protect your capital. Junius Morgan looks at this exact same situation and sees something completely different. He's asking a different question. Not can France win, but can France pay back a loan? And here's his calculation. Yeah, France is probably going to lose. The military situation looks bad. Bismarck is going to roll right over them. But here's the thing about France. The economy is diversified. They've got agriculture, manufacturing, trade. They've got a solid tax collection system. They've got national wealth beyond just their military. Even if France loses the war, even if it's a total disaster, they'll still be able to collect taxes. They'll still have an economy. They'll still be able to repay debts. It might take longer. They might need to raise taxes, but they can pay. That's what matters. That's the bet. Through his syndicate, Junius raises over £10 million for the French army. That's a massive loan. And he does something else that's crucial. As an American banker, he gives France access to American weapons. The French can buy guns, ammunition, supplies from America and ship them over. This is huge because Britain and Prussia are allied, so France can't easily buy British weapons. American suppliers are their best option. The war kicks off and it goes exactly how the Rothschilds predicted. Germany wins decisively, completely. It's not even close. The war ends with the Treaty of Frankfurt in 1871. France loses territory. Germany gets Alsace-Lorraine. The German Empire gets proclaimed at the Palace of Versailles, which is basically the ultimate power move. We just beat you so bad we're declaring our empire in your palace at Versailles in the Hall of Mirrors, maximum humiliation. France is defeated, occupied, and forced to pay massive reparations to Germany. It's a disaster. Everyone who passed on lending to France is feeling pretty smart right now. They avoided a terrible investment. Good call, right? Except France doesn't default on Junius Morgan's loan. That's the crazy part. Bismarck predicted they would. Most people assumed they would. How's a defeated nation going to pay back millions of pounds when they're also paying reparations to Germany? It should be impossible. But Morgan called it right. France raises taxes, they sell some assets, they squeeze their economy, and in 1873, just 2 years after losing the war, they prepay the bonds. They pay back the entire loan early, with interest. Junius Morgan walks away with £1.5 million in profit. From a deal everyone else thought was insane, from a loan that all the smart money passed on. He made a fortune by seeing what the Rothschilds missed, by asking the right question instead of the obvious question. This changes everything. The House of Morgan is now a major player in international finance. They're competing with the Rothschilds. They're taking deals the Rothschilds won't touch and making them pay off. Word spreads fast in banking circles. Morgan isn't just some American upstart. He's legitimate. He's got capital, connections, and most dangerous of all, he's got guts. The balance of power is shifting. For decades, if you needed major financing, you went to the Rothschilds. Now there's another option. Now there's competition. And competition means the Rothschilds can't charge whatever they want anymore, can't pick and choose deals as easily, can't assume they'll always be the first call. While Junius is building his empire, The Rothschilds are dealing with their own transition. James Rothschild dies in 1868. He held the family together after Nathan's death. He pushed them into railroads and kept them dominant. Now he's gone too. And the younger generations, the grandchildren of Mayer Amschel, they're different. They're not as unified, not as hungry. They grew up rich. They didn't build this empire from nothing. They inherited it. And that changes your relationship with money. Changes your drive. Some of them are more interested in art and culture than banking. Some want to invest in exotic ventures rather than stick to traditional finance. The tight family bond that Mayer Amschel insisted on is starting to fray. Not breaking, but loosening. The banking houses are becoming more independent, more focused on their individual markets than on the collective family strategy. The Rothschilds start looking beyond Europe. They need new opportunities, new markets. They invest heavily overseas. A big chunk of their portfolio goes to Egypt, financing infrastructure projects. They put money into Indian railroads. These are huge investments in growing markets. The kind of moves that could pay off massively if they work out. But these investments are also risky. You're dealing with governments that are less stable, projects that are harder to oversee from Europe, currency fluctuations, political instability, colonial powers shifting. There are a lot of variables, a lot of ways things can go wrong. What the Rothschilds really need, what could get them back to their past dominance, is a bigger marketplace, a place with more money moving around than anywhere they currently operate, a new financial centre that's emerging to rival or even surpass London. And across the Atlantic, exactly that kind of place is taking shape. America is growing fast, really fast. From the 1850s to the 1870s, the country is exploding. The Industrial Revolution hits America like a freight train. Westward expansion opens up massive territories. The Transcontinental Railroad gets completed in 1869, connecting the East Coast to the West Coast. Suddenly, you can move goods and